Every minute that passes, the equivalent of a full garbage truck full of plastic is dumped into the environment. Scientists predict that in the next 25 years, there's going to be more plastic inside of the ocean than actual fish. That's a lot of plastic. And most of that plastic is single use. I've looked at a lot of data surrounding pollution of the environment, states and countries that have already enacted a ban on single use plastics, and data on the effect that it could have on human health. The issue affects every single human on this planet. We have found that you could have microplastics swimming in your blood right now and not even know about it. So, this is more than just what we eat and drink, it's personal. Because of this, I believe that the United States should implement a federal ban on single use plastics due to the severe effect that it could have on the environment and human health. Today, I'm going to walk you through three things. First, the harm that these plastics cause our environment. Second, the current legislative success we've already seen. And third, the most effective solution moving forward. Let's start with the environmental damage. Single use plastics are one of the most environmentally destructive elements we face in today's day and age. According to Laura Parker's article in National Geographic, more than 8 million tons of plastic get into the ocean every single year, killing millions of aquatic organisms and seabirds alike. That same National Geographic report notes that bags, straws, and bottles make up a vast majority of this ocean debris. And they can last up to 1,000 years in the sea before they even think about decomposing. And this isn't just marine life at risk. Plastic pollution is a direct threat to human life as well. According to a study by Ragusa and colleagues published in the journal Environment International, microplastics have been detected in every part of the human body, and we still don't fully understand the long term health consequences that they could have. And according to the United Nations Environment Program, many plastics also contain toxic chemicals like BPA and phthalates, which have been linked to hormone disruption and other health issues, often entering our water supply through plastic packaging, like such as plastic water bottles and plastic bags. Now that we understand how severe this issue is, let's look at what the governments are actually doing to present it. So there are many states and countries that have already enacted bans on reducing single-use plastics and have proven that it's both achievable and effective. According to the United Nations Environment Program, over 60 countries, including world leaders like Canada and France, and a lot of members of the EU, have already implemented full or partial bans on single use plastics, leading to large reductions in plastic waste. That same UNEP report highlights that Kenya, who had one of the most extreme examples of this ban, where officials saw a rapid decline in plastic litter in both urban and rural areas within just the first year. We're seeing that same success right here at home. According to the California Department of Resources, Recycling and Recovery, or CalRecycle for short, California was the first state to ban plastic bags. And studies show plastic bag litter dropped between 70 and 90% in areas where the ban was enforced. That same CalRecycle data shows that other large states, such as New York and Hawaii, have also since started implementing their own bans, reflecting the growing public support for this kind of legislation across the entire country. Now that we know that it is effective on a smaller scale, why do we need it on a larger scale? The little band aids can't fix a bullet hole. Each state by state isn't going to be effective on actually changing the environment. Plastic waste doesn't just stop at state borders, it flows through rivers, it flies across highways, and many other things. And some studies show plastic bag litter dropped, it flows, it creating a shared ecosystem of litter that no single state can solve alone. Without a nationwide standard, manufacturers have no real accountability, allowing mass production to continue across the majority of the country. A federal ban would change that. According to the United Nations Environment Program, a federal ban would force companies to invest in something that's more sustainable for both people and the environment, making eco friendly alternatives more available and affordable for all parties involved. And something that you can do today to do help this is as simple as using a water bottle or something like this. That is one of the easiest and most simple things that you can do today to help this cause. So, before we wrap up, I want you to think about everything that we've used today. Every bag, every bottle, every straw, every cap that you might have used today. and consider the environmental impact that it's had just by you using it and throwing it away. Single use plastics are causing a devastating and growing crisis for our environment and our own health. The evidence from states and countries that have already banned single use plastics proves that these bans actually work, and the results will come very quickly. A federal ban would be the most effective solution because it will create a long lasting impact on the entire country. Think back to that garbage truck example that I used at the beginning. That's just a projected number. It's not finalized. We're not already at the point where there's more plastic than fish in the ocean. And if you support the policies that the leaders make and you do your own part in this cause, we can make that number completely disappear and stop plastic waste for good. Thank you. The easiest thing that you can do today, like kind of how I mentioned in the report, is just using a water bottle, especially plastic water bottles. They can be really, really harmful to a lot of like bigger fish because they can get their head stuck in it and kill it. And plus, think about how much plastic and how thick some of those bottles can be. It'll take a long, long, long time for them to decompose, which is just hurting everyone involved. If you use a simple metal water bottle like this, like how I use, you not only eliminate that, but you also have a much more sustainable resource for your water. And it makes me drink water even more, making everyone else healthier. You can get this for like 20 bucks on Amazon. It's really not that bad. So the research that I did, I had to kind of look at a lot of different parts, like because I had to look at state legislature, I had to look at, current trends in the environment and that kind of thing. And especially like the bigger numbers, like the 8 tons of plastic a day. Like, that took a lot of research to kind of actually, it didn't take a lot of research to find, and it's one of the most influential points. The stuff that was a little harder to find, kinda like how I mentioned earlier, was the stuff on, like, legislature and legislative, and kind of, like, sources that'll, I guess, prove that a nationwide ban is the next step instead of just these little statewide bans. Thank you.